Stop Being Creative, written by Khatzumoto, posted in February of 2011. Passive listening doesn't help, you say? Well, how are you supposed to play a song you've never heard? How are you supposed to do a Lady Gaga impression when you've never even seen her speak or sing? I'll tell you how. You make it up. You get creative. You invent something new. And therein lies the problem. Japanese doesn't want your creativity. Japanese doesn't want your inventiveness. Because the second you, an adult foreigner with a 20-word active vocabulary, start inventing Japanese, what you have invented ceases to be Japanese. It's certainly based on Japanese, but it's not Japanese. Don't create Japanese. Imitate. Imitate, imitate, imitate. Be creative in your methods. Go wild. But know that the aim is to do a perfect, note-for-note impression of a Japanese person. Be creative at being a copycat. That is the point of learning Japanese as far as you will be concerned for the foreseeable future. There will come a time to put your own little spin on it, to add your unique flavor, but that will be the 0.0000001% on top of the 99.9999999% Japaneseness. Fake numbers, of course, but I hope you get the point. It's called shuhari, friends, and it always starts with shu. Narrator's note, he links to an article that explains what shuhari is, and I thought it was really interesting and didn't know what this was before, so I'm going to read it here. It's not super long, so bear with me. Shuhari, written by Martin Fowler in August of 2014. Shuhari is a way of thinking about how you learn a technique. The name comes from Japanese martial arts, particularly Aikido, and Alistair Cockburn introduced it as a way of thinking about learning techniques and methodologies for software development. The idea is that a person passes through 3 stages of gaining knowledge. Shu. In this beginning stage, students follow the teachings of one master precisely. They concentrate on how to do the task without worrying too much about the underlying theory. If there are multiple variations on how to do the task, they concentrate on just the one way their master teaches them. Ha. At this point, students begin to branch out. With the basic practices working, they now start to learn the underlying principles and theory behind the technique. They also start learning from other masters and integrate that learning into their practice. Re. Now the students aren't learning from other people, but from their own practice. They create their own approaches and adapt what they've learned into their own particular circumstances. The fundamental idea here is that when teaching a concept, you have to tailor the style of teaching to where the learner is in their understanding, and that progression follows a common pattern. Early stages of learning focus on concrete steps to imitate, then focus shifts to understanding principles, and finally into self-directed innovation. There are other expressions of this style of learning. A more nuanced approach is the Dreyfus model. I rather like Clark Terry's formulation of this model: imitate, assimilate, innovate. Narrator's note, there's the end of that article. Hope that was worth listening to and that you got something out of that. Anyway, thanks again for listening. See you in the next one.